Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? I paid. I paid for my stuff. I paid for my stuff. Why are you doing this to me? Everybody's seen this, right? I paid for my stuff. I have a receipt. Please stop.
Hey, guys, just walk on and get away. Get away.
Please stop. Hey, friend. Hey, friend, please stop. Hey, friend, please stop. I didn't do nothing wrong. I paid for this. I have to. Why are you arresting me? Why are you arresting me? Everybody see this, right? I had a receipt. I had a receipt. I had a receipt.
I saw it, bro. I saw it.
Everybody saw I had a receipt.
I saw it.
I paid for my receipt. So why am I being arrested? Why are they doing this to me?
It's on video. It's on video.
Somebody please put it on Facebook. My name is Stanley Gracias. Today in Walmart, I went to purchase a bike for my son. Everybody saw, and it's on camera, I paid with cash and a credit card, and I had a receipt. Why are these cops doing this to me? Please tell me what exactly I did wrong. What? What did I do wrong? I had a receipt and I paid for my stuff. Why are you doing this to me, officer? Like, I love you guys. Why are you doing this? You guys are nice. You like, come on, man. Nah, I'm not okay. I need to bring your bike to my son that I just bought. But no, you guys are doing this to me. I am calm. Friend, why are your friends doing this to me?
I have no idea. I just got here. So just relax. Figure it out. See if you got it.
No, you guys are doing this against my will. So if you understand that, why are you still doing it? Currently, yes, I am hurt and injured, officer.
That's him right there.
I am hurt and injured, officer.
No. We're gonna wait right here, because I did not do anything wrong. I did not do anything wrong. I did not do anything wrong. Look. Why? You're talking to me right now. What's your first name? Hey, Joe. How are you, Joe? Picture this, Joe. You have a son who's expecting a bike. So you go to Walmart to buy him the bike. You have cash and a credit card, Joe. You buy the bike, Joe. Everybody sees you, Joe. Buy the bike with cash and credit card, Joe. So why is the police arresting you, Joe? No, I do not want to sit down. You guys are making me feel uncomfortable, Joe.
Oh shit, sir. I mistakenly clicked on that video. So you saw that a guy got arrested for, well, I can't say what he got arrested for, but he got arrested whilst buying his son a bike. Now, this is part 2 of my videos called Why Are Black People Stupid? This is where we just look at some of these leading Republicans, or should I say public speaking Republicans who happen to be black and are sort of taking the route of, you know, tarnishing everything black people are fighting for today, under the guise that there's some special type of black people. It's a mental issue that a lot of people who are in interracial relationships go through. They feel they have to be over impressive to their European spouse. So we kind of see this behavior through the talks of Dr. J. Harris, the talks of Officer Tatum, the talks of Candace Owens, all of whom are in interracial relationships. It's almost as if they cannot speak on Republican issues without insulting their people. In part 1, I just debunked the fact that they're very aware that the schools failing us is what is causing the problems in Chicago. They don't want to say it. They don't want to blame the government. They don't want to blame the system. So they dance around it. But if you watch part 1 of this video called Why Are Black People Stupid called Black People Stupid Part 1, you'll see how I easily, without necessarily bringing any of my thoughts or my facts, just using their own words and their own talk, how to deal with it. So over here we see this brutal arrest of a black man, and I want to get into something called the rat cage. I'm not the most exciting YouTuber, I understand. I don't come with all that fire, but education was not always meant to be exciting, okay? So I want to play a little clip of our favorite white panderer. I use the word white panderer because I feel the words black Republicans deserve more respect than the common Tatums and Candace Owens. I feel they're white panderers because I feel their whole existence in the public media is to let white people feel better about themselves as far as race relationships are concerned, using their black skin to do that. So here's something that I want to say after watching that harsh video where a man got arrested for no reason. Let's hear what Tatum has to say.
You know, if I see a brother getting pulled over by the police, I mean, reasonableness will tell you it's probably for a reason. They don't. You just know the operation of law enforcement. They don't just stopping people and pulling them over, wasting their time. There's so much crime being committed that it's a good chance that they're doing it. Unless they just beating the guy over the head with a billy club in broad daylight with his hands behind his back. There's no need for you to question what they're doing. These are trained professionals.
You hear that? We just saw a video of a man get arrested for no reason, and it was filmed. We have seen many videos like that, whether they die or they don't die. And the worst part about all these videos is you ask the question, what about the ones that don't get filmed? What about the ones that didn't have any witnesses? Like, do you ever sit down and think about that? Like, isn't that like freaky? Like, okay, so you get a guy with his camera and he films a lion eating another lion. Let's just say that's weird. A lion eating another lion. But if you see it once and you catch it on camera, like how many times has that happened that you didn't catch? And when you see this, it makes you think, what about the people? Like, did they just lie about them? Did they just put them in prison? Did they take them somewhere and kill them? Like, what about the people who had no cameras on? And here is Officer Tatum telling you that if you see a brother getting harassed by police, 9 times out of 10, he's trying to say if the police aren't doing something stupid, that the police are right, so ignore them. This was a video he did on Maxine Waters confronts police at random traffic stop. And he's criticizing her for stopping. Now, I'm not a fan of Maxine Waters. I support the Republican Party and I support Trump. But my beef with these guys is that they're not sharing Republican views. They're sharing white pandering views. They're here to undermine black people in favor of their white spouses and their white spouses' family, and that sort of bullshit, you know. And that's where I'm not happy, because I feel they're actually going to be detrimental to the Republican Party. It's people like this that black people are going to see and going to be like, no way I can support the Republican Party. And we cannot fail Trump this year. So sorry if you're looking for a Democrat, but that's not happening. You see, because we have a situation where we're looking at racism, okay? When we talk about racism, Ku Klux Klan, Ahmaud Arbery racism, you're looking at the Republicans, you know, the people with the shirt off and the big bellies, and we're going to get into that. When you look at the Democratic racism, you're looking at the schools, you're looking at Planned Parenthood, you're looking at police killings, you're looking at the crime bill, you're looking at the prisons. That's the Democratic Party racism. And let me tell you something, that racism is more fucked up, far more fucked up than anything the Ku Klux Klan is doing. When you look at the Democratic Party racism, you're looking at guns in Chicago, drugs in Baltimore or wherever, or you know what I mean? You're looking at the Democrats are behind the systematic racism. The Republicans are the Ahmaud Arbery killers. The Democrats are the George Floyd killers. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you want to get that's why you have Trump giving black people school choices. So now if you're in a bad neighborhood, you can go to a good neighborhood and take your kids there, which is very good for black people. Trump is doing prison reform. Trump has lowered the economy for the whole America, including black people. So when you analyze all these issues and major problems, Trump is on the side of good. But what these white panderers are doing is Officer Tatum, he's smart. He picks issues where black people are in the wrong. You know what I mean? There was a video recently, and let's roll into that. You won't see him once do anything on this, but let's go into this video. Watch this and listen to this closely.
Racist attack on a black man by a group of white men is under investigation in Indiana. The alleged victim posted video of the incident on Facebook. He is getting support from people in the community who held a rally yesterday to call for action. Our national correspondent, Jerika Duncan, says police are looking into his claim that the men threatened to string him up.
Sean, let him go!
We're just trying to get out of here, guys.
A relaxing evening with friends turned violent after 5 white men allegedly attacked Vox Booker, a black man, and pinned him against a tree.
Please let him go. We're going to as soon as you let him go.
Booker, a civil rights activist in Bloomington, Indiana, said the men dragged him, beat him, and threatened to break his arms.
These men were on top of me, asking for a noose. They literally said the term noose. They yelled, leave, leave, leave the boy with us. I wasn't even a man, I was a boy.
No one invaded you. Stupid liberal.
Booker says the confrontation began when the men accused him and his friends of trespassing. The men allegedly started yelling white power among other racial slurs.
What do you really want to call me?
Headed.
Bloomington Mayor John Hamilton said he was horrified by the attack and acknowledges that racism still exists in his community.
These are real.
Did you hear that? They were asking for a noose to hang that brother. Recently, a report came out where a black man allegedly hanged himself, and people wanted to riot or protest, and the FBI came in and said, oh, he wasn't hanged by racists, he hanged himself. And so the FBI, remember the FBI is the same organization that put the guns and drugs and orchestrated the COINTELPRO by whatever the name slipped my mind. This same FBI sees a black man hanging from a tree, and then they conclude he hanged himself. And Officer Tatum used that as a punch to say, see you black people. I can't even remember what he was saying about it. And here we have white people trying to hang a black man caught on video. Officer Tatum never made a video about it because Officer Tatum was never here to deal with black community issues. Officer Tatum is a hustler. He's a man with some deep personal issues. He got into a relationship based on an unplanned baby. Don't take my word for it. He says it in his video when he's talking about Kanye West with a white woman. And now he's pandering. He's trying to explain to his mental discomfort why he's made the right decision. It's psychological. You know what I'm saying? And he's doing everything to attack the image of black people to appease to his white people. He said it many times why he's embarrassed to walk around white people and put himself out there as a black man. He has a recent video called Message to My White Brothers and Sisters. I want to play you a little bit of this.
Who freed the slaves on paper?
Hold on, no. I'm just going to play it from anywhere.
You gotta keep pursuing the truth. Then it's their loss, not yours. It doesn't matter what family members say. It doesn't matter what your black friends say or biracial friends say or friends that are not of Caucasian descent. It don't matter what they say. You got to stick with the truth. You got to stick with facts. You got to keep pursuing the race. And I can't say it enough. Stay encouraged. Don't let people get you down. Don't let them lie to you, man. This world and the situations that we're going through today, is a process of
Basically, what he's saying is white people gotta stay strong because they're not racist, and if black people complain about racism, and they shouldn't be bothered because a whole bunch of stuff.
Don't let these people defeat you. If you are not a racist, don't let them tell you a racist. Don't let them call you things that is not associated to your character. It doesn't matter what people call you. You are who you respond to. So stay strong in that manner, but always keep pushing facts.
So he's out here making a video for white people saying, message to my white brothers and sisters, stay strong. Because white people were just so devastated by some black people thinking they were racist. White people are just so devastated. They can't live their lives. Jesus Christ, man. Like, I don't even think I need to talk more on this. I don't need to talk on this, brother. Like, if you still follow this nigga, you're stupid. Literally, if you're a black person and you're following this brother, you're stupid. Don't get me wrong, it's entertaining to switch him on, but you gotta get your logic straight. What I want to talk about within the last few minutes of this video, let me see. By the way, in case you don't know, I do these videos off the top. I don't plan what I say. I'm a little bit tired, so if maybe you can tell that my voice is drowsy a little bit. But I just want to say this, okay? You put rats in a rat cage. This is like an analogy, you know what I mean? You could put like 15 rats, okay? And you can, let's say they can read, you can write on the wall that you're free, you're free. You could put 1 or 2 rats in there saying you're free, you're free. And they can believe they're free and they're in a maze. So they can't see if they're free or not when they're centered around the middle. And if they go left, they can say left is blocked. They can take the second exit on the left that is blocked. This person can come back and say, no, we're free. This person can come back and say, I found food here. But the bottom line is it's going to take all the rats a good amount of time to educate themselves about all the exits to know all the exits are blocked. We can sit here and Officer Tatum can come and say, you're free, you're free, you're free, you're free. And no problem. And you can tell yourself you are free. Okay? But one day, you're going to run. You can tell yourself, I love police. I'm a Republican. I'm a black man. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to stick by my son. And I'm going to be free like Officer Tatum. No problem. If you think that will diminish the truth, go ahead. But let me show you something that you probably didn't notice. Where is it? Let me show you something very important. Okay, I saw a video on YouTube, and when they translated the brother's words, they translated to say, I've got nothing for you guys. But listen closely and listen closely to what this brother says. Listen very closely.
What did I do wrong? I had a receipt and I paid for my stuff. Why are you doing this to me, officer? Like, I love you guys. Why are you doing this?
Did you hear what he said? Let's take it back. Listen closely. On the Facebook page, they translated to, I've got nothing for you guys, but that's not what he says. Listen very closely.
Like, I love you guys. Why are you doing this?
He said, I've got love for you guys. Let's play it one more time. One more time. He says, I've got love for you guys.
Like, I love you guys. Why are you doing this?
You see what I'm saying? You see, the thing about you can't fool yourself into reality, into another reality. You can't fool yourself into another reality. This is a good man. He's spending money on his son. He's there for. This is the man who Candace Owens and Officer Tatum are saying that are missing in the black community. He's a father. He's buying his son goods. He had a legit credit card. He wasn't doing a George Floyd with a bounce check or whatever they said he did. And he loves the police. I bet you he's a fan of Officer Tatum. Any black man who's getting arrested and says, I got love for you guys. Any black man who says that when he's getting arrested, trust me, listens to Officer Tatum. You niggas out there that think that there's an easy way out, okay, the house Negro gonna make you think that, you know, you just need to pull up your pants and stop complaining in the fields and you can work with him in the house. But let me tell you something. Not everyone is gonna be a house Negro. There's not enough room in the house for Negroes. There's not enough room in the house for Negroes. And no matter what, the master needs 50 people in the field. And so it doesn't matter if everybody pull up their pants. There's still going to be people in the field. But the house Negro and the Negroes think that there's some sort of reality that if they all are nice, they will all be house Negroes. And it doesn't work that way. They're going to always need people in the field. They're going to need to fill up their prison quarters. Do you understand? It doesn't matter how much love you got for these guys. You think they operate on love? Shit. You think they doing it for the love? I got love for you guys. I got love for you guys. Oh my God. It's crazy, huh? It's crazy like a motherfucker. You can tell all the rats they're free. And they're going to go this exit, that exit, this one going to run this exit. Oh, come back. But we going to all come back to the circle and realize that shit, that Officer Tatum guy was talking bullshit. Because if he was talking real shit, he'd be out there doing real shit. And I know this because I've been into activism. If I tell you that the mentality of the brothers is wrong, the next thing I'm going to say is, how can I educate them? Am I going to build a school? No, I don't have money. The school's too big for me and I'm not ready to manage it. Can I do a website? Okay. Can I educate them through the website? Cool. Can I do a registration? Can I go in there? Can I hand out leaflets? Can I be a journalist? Can I write for a newspaper? There's always a solution. There's never a time there's no solution. You know? So if y'all people sitting down there listening to hustlers like Jericho Green and hustlers like Candace Owens and Officer Tatum, who are all white panderers just here to make white people feel good, you guys better be careful. Because you're just going to bump your head and come right back full circle. Maybe you might get yourself a door open to being a house Negro. So what? So what? At what price? At insulting your people? At trying to tell the cops, I got love for you guys. Ghetto ass nigga. You think they care? They don't care. You got love for what? You a good man. You buying your kid a bike. You going to the shop. You got the right credit card, the right money. I got love for you guys. Nah, we're not here for love. We got a job to do. We got to fill up the prisons. So that's all I really wanted to say in this part 2. Like, why hasn't Officer Tatum made a video about the white people trying to hang that black man? Why he hasn't said nothing about it? Because it doesn't appeal to his white people. It doesn't appeal to his followers, his racist followers. You see that video where they tried to hang a black man? If y'all notice, I've not done a video in 6 years. I only started like last week or something. And the first video I said I was just going to make one video and then I was going to be done with it. And then I saw that video where they were trying to hang that black man. And I said, no, man, I can't sit down, man. Like, we can't. Because you see in that video where they tried to hang that black man, they called him a liberal. They called his white friend who was filming, they called him a white liberal fuck. A fucking white liberal. Now, I'm not with the liberals. I'm not with the Democrats. I don't even think I'm necessarily with Republicans. I'm just with Trump. And I understand that in order for Trump to make his passing legislations smoother, the Republicans need to be in power. So based on supporting Trump, I support the Republicans, but not based on any political views or anything, just based on what Trump is doing. But it's crazy that these guys will call the white person who was standing up for the black guy a liberal, a fucking liberal. And it goes to show you that these guys can do this and go home and sit down and watch Officer Tatum making videos about white people telling them that you're not racist, nothing is wrong with you. Black people are killing themselves and they're hanging themselves and this. And you can imagine what those racists are feeling when they listen to Candace Owens and Officer Tatum. Like, I'm not saying white people are racist, but those white people who tried to hang that black man, imagine how they're feeling listening to Tatum and Candace Owens. Just imagine it. Just imagine it. You don't think they're gonna feel emboldened? And that's what made me say, nah, I don't care if only 5 people tune into this. I don't care if it's only 3 people. I don't care if it's only 1 like, 2. I don't even care if people come out and dislike it. Those 1, 2, 3 people that like it, those 1, 2, 3 people that hear it, those 1, 2, 3 people who think I've said a whole bunch of bullshit, but those some 1 or 2 things I said that open up their eyes, it's worth it. It's worth it because we gotta play our part. You know what I mean? And to me, I don't really have a beef with these Candace Owens and Officer Tatum because at the end of the day, they're driving people towards Trump. But I also feel like the negativity they're displaying as well can drive people away from Trump. And I need to let people know that no. How I described you, the racism between the Republican racism and the Democratic racism, that shit is very important. Like I said, Republican racism is Ahmaud Arbery. Democrat racism is George Floyd. Let me say it again. Republican racism, white people with guns and trucks who are racist. And you know it. You know how they dress. You know how they talk. You know how they're going to come at you. Democrat racism, that's the crime bill. Do you understand? Those are the elites pushing the criminal music. That's the prison quotas. That's the failing of the schools. Why the schools are failing in democratic areas, the failing of the schools. Do you understand? You cannot sacrifice the Republican racism over the Democratic racism. Because the Democratic racism is what's having you kill each other in Chicago. That's the racism. That's the racism that the police are not stopping and they're arresting you and they're putting you in the prisons so you can go and work for the big corporations. You can go and clean up the white neighborhoods. But the people, the communities they're arresting you from, they're not letting you work for those communities. That alone is racism, even if you were really guilty or even if they weren't behind what you're doing. The fact that you'll come and take someone out of my community for the wrong he's done in my community and go and use him to right somebody else's community, by right I mean wrong right. Right somebody else's community? No, if you snatch a quote unquote, let's speak in racist terms, an N-word out of my community, and you're going to punish him in the prison system, you should let him do chores and community work in my community because he took away from my community. So when you take away black people from my community and the prisons allow them to work for corporations, and then the prison itself is racism. Forget the fact that racism has led them into prison. Imagine even if that didn't exist. Just the prison, the operations of the prison itself is racism. So don't, no matter how racist the Republicans sound, because they're more open, and I'm not saying Republicans as if the Republican Party is racist, but I mean the racist within that corner. No matter how racist they sound, don't let that confuse you to thinking that the racism at the Democratic end is not serious. The racism in the Democratic end is even much more dangerous than anything you are going to experience if the Democrats get in power. Because if they get in power, there's not going to be another Trump. Okay, so that's just part 2. Yeah, man, like this video. If you think there's another black Republican or supporter of Trump that you need to let them know they don't need to share those views of Candace Owens and Tatum, you can, because as I say, there's nothing in the Republican manifesto that tells you that you should believe black people are stupid or talk about black on black crime. It's not in there. All you're experiencing is some kind of silly culture. Because the Republican Party is the party that calls for less government. If anything, it should be the Republican Party screaming, defund the police. It really should be. But this is what I'm saying. It's culture. It's no longer politics. It's just culture. Hey, you guys are in this corner. We're in this corner. If someone says something in this corner, we support it. If someone says something in that corner, we support it. And it's just culture. There's no politics behind any of this. So with that said, that's part 2. Are black people stupid? Nope. Nope, not at all. Not at all. But we're gonna dissect all of this, okay? All right. Thanks for listening. If you like it, like it. If you want to share it, share it. If you don't, thanks for listening.